Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Smithville Fiber Internet, streaming TV, home security and automation in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Mallard Grodner Attorneys providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. lawmg.com. IU Alumni Association connecting IU's network of alumni and sharing the Indiana spirit through scholarships, advocacy, and volunteerism. alumni.iu.edu. IU Center for Rural Engagement extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnership with communities and organizations. rural.indiana.edu. And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana Newsdesk. The positive number of Indiana COVID-19 cases tops 100,000, the latest state and local statistics just ahead. People are avoiding doctor's visits, but they're actually taking their pets in for more medical care.
It's already double booked and overbooked just in 48 hours.
Ahead, why it could take you months to get an appointment at your veterinarian's office. An Indianapolis teenager who says a classmate raped her is speaking out against her school. She says they haven't done anything since she reported the attack.
College is a really big deal for me. My senior year is a really big deal for me, and I feel like it's all getting taken away.
And masks are required at least for a few more weeks. But what about if you're exercising? Ahead, we track down the answer to a viewer's question as part of our City Limit series. Those stories, plus the latest news headlines from across the state, right now on Indiana Newsdesk.
Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. The state is opening up 95 more COVID-19 testing sites. They'll open in October and they have funding from the state to operate for 2 years. State Health Commissioner Dr. Chris Bach says every local health department was invited to apply for the grant funding to help jumpstart COVID-19 testing, and most did.
Some counties opted not to take the funding because they have other testing available. Other counties have partnered together or with a healthcare provider in their community to offer testing.
Hoosiers will not have to pay to be tested at any of the sites. Some out-of-work Hoosiers will soon begin receiving additional unemployment benefits. The Department of Workforce Development says it will begin issuing extra $300 payments to unemployed Hoosiers on September 21st. Now, per White House guidelines, Hoosiers have to be approved to receive at least $100 of unemployment benefits in order to get the extra $300. Estimates show between 25,000 to 30,000 Hoosiers aren't eligible. Additionally, claimants waiting to be approved for benefits could miss out on the extra money if FEMA's $44 billion fund runs out before their issues are resolved. DWD Commissioner Fred Payne says his staff is currently working with federal agencies to deal with that if it happens.
I can't give you a definite answer on that right now, other than our goal is to ensure that every Hoosier who's eligible will receive the $300 benefit.
For the many unemployed workers who are eligible for lost wages assistance, Indiana is currently approved to pay up to 6 weeks of extra benefits retroactively. Confirmed COVID-19 cases in the state have surpassed 103,000. The death toll is nearly 3,200. About 800 Hoosiers are hospitalized because of COVID-19. College towns across the country are seeing a surge in coronavirus cases. Monroe County's 7-day positivity rate for unique individuals has quintupled since IU students returned to Bloomington. It's at 15.6%, more than double the state average. Mitigation testing at IU shows an increasing number of students have the virus. The university attributes it to students living in Greek houses. The university has urged students living there to move out, but it can't force them to since it doesn't own the properties. Monroe County students are back in school for the first time since March. MCCSC resumed in-person classes this week, but because of the county's high COVID numbers, there were some modifications. While elementary students attended in-person classes every day, middle and high schoolers alternated between online and in-person learning. The district will seek guidance from its metric committee to determine the status of schools next week.
The stress levels on everybody is phenomenally high. The problem is, with some teachers, they're having to teach online classes and they teach regular in-face classes.
All MCCSE families still have the option to keep their children in online learning if they don't feel safe enough sending their children to school. About 41% of elementary students will continue online learning, while 28% of middle schoolers and 27% of high schoolers chose that path. In an email sent out to parents, MCCSE says it will announce its next learning phase status on September 15th. Have you tried to find a veterinarian for your pet recently? Odds are, if you have, you're going to have to wait some time. Reporter Mitch Legan has more on veterinary clinics being swamped and how the Monroe County Humane Association is dealing with it.
When Mike Hayes got home from work a few weeks back, his 9-year-old lab Mastiff Hank didn't look right.
He had a huge lump underneath his left eye that was sticking out quite a bit. It was causing his eye to swell partially shut. His eye was bloodshot.
When Hayes called his regular vet, he was told the earliest they could get Hank in was the end of September. Calls to vets around the area had the same results, with one available at the end of December. They lucked out when the Monroe County Humane Association was able to fit them in.
And I mean, it's a naive expectation, probably, but my expectation was when I explained to him what the situation was that we'd be able to get him in somewhere to have somebody just take a look at it.
While many human hospitals have struggled financially during the pandemic, veterinary hospitals are currently busy as ever, with no signs of things slowing down anytime soon.
It's insane right now. Tensions are high. I feel like pets are feeling the tension of their family as well. I've never seen demand like this for vet care.
At the Monroe County Humane Association Animal Care Campus, July visits were up by nearly 100 compared to last year. The clinic still leaves slots open for potential emergencies, but demand for general wellness visits is so high that the schedule's filling up through October and maybe even stretching into November.
In June, we added on a second doctor, so we basically doubled our practice by adding on an additional doctor and 2 more technicians. So now we have 2 vet teams running all day, 4 days a week.
Warren says the current surge is the product of a variety of issues. When the federal government originally declared a public health emergency in March, the American Veterinary Medical Association recommended against providing routine wellness checks, which were considered elective.
We were still seeing sick and injured. We were then allowed to extend into anything that needed a booster or for a rabies vaccine that was expiring. But for so many other pets, they got left out of that window. So it started about the end of May, early June was when we really started seeing an overwhelming demand for services. And it's just continued.
Another reason, the pandemic means people are spending a lot more time at home, which also caused pet sales to spike.
With people being at home more, they're watching their animals more, they're picking up, hey, he's drinking a lot, or hey, Fluffy's trying to go to the bathroom a lot. I think there might be a problem there. And now they are, at home and they're able to come in anytime.
And just like with humans, that delay in pet care means some animals have fallen behind on vaccinations. That can be dangerous not just to pets, but to their human companions as well.
A lot of the virus and diseases that they're vaccinated for and against can be zoonotic, meaning you or I could be exposed and fall sick to them as well. If we have a parvo outbreak, it would be terrible. Lepto, you or I could be exposed to. Rabies is state mandated and is fatal. So if we miss so many booster series or rebooster series on lepto, distemper, rabies, any one of those, it will start to affect the human population.
While the CDC and other medical experts say animals aren't spreading coronavirus to people, the pandemic is having more indirect effects on the human-animal relationship.
A lot more behavioral issues, new pets that are at home, and now maybe people are starting to go back to work. So potty training issues, behavioral issues, separation anxiety.
We will see some very aggressive dogs in 6 months if we don't start actively working on socializing our dogs, which doesn't seem like a community crisis. But when you're that family that gets that lab puppy that doesn't expose it to anything, and then you take it out into the community, 6 months later it ends up at a shelter, now you have an 80-pound, 1-year-old dog who's not been socialized, and it can be a crisis very quickly.
What makes matters even more difficult for the Humane Association is that the pandemic has affected finances for just about everyone. As a nonprofit veterinary clinic with a focus on expanding access to care, it was often the last stop for pet owners in the first place.
If you're struggling to feed your pets, we do pantry distribution on Sunday from 1 to 4 and Tuesday from 4 to 6.
The increased demand for veterinary services has led many clinics to stop taking on new clients, which just enhances the strain on the MCHA.
I've talked to some of my colleagues in town, and they are actually sending them our way, whether it's because of financial constraints. as hard as it was financially before to take care of pets, I think it's now, doubled.
There's hope that the winter will help slow things down, since many harmful parasites can't survive the cold. But there's still a ways to go until the temperatures start to drop.
Can we keep up? Yeah. Is it exhausting? Yes, but it's why we're here. This is our heart's calling. Everyone here loves what we do. We pride ourselves on being accessible and having that tiered pricing structure. Business never really tapers. We have clients that come from up to 4 hours away. So for us, it's going to be business as normal for a while.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Mitch Legan.
Pharmaceutical company AstraZeneca is putting its COVID-19 vaccine trial on hold after a volunteer in the UK had an unexplained illness. The pause includes the trial set to take place through the IU School of Medicine this fall. Now, an IU School of Medicine spokesperson said IU had not begun enrolling vaccine trial participants and no one had been given a dose of the vaccine. In a statement, AstraZeneca said unexplained illnesses will happen in all large clinical trials and it's standard procedure for those incidents to be independently reviewed. The company did not say what the unexplained illness was or when the trials will resume. Well, today marks 19 years since the September 11th terrorist attacks. The 9/11 attacks were perpetrated by al-Qaeda terrorists. They produced higher casualty figures than all previous terrorist incidents in the United States combined. That intense loss of life has meant that the 9/11 attacks have come to symbolize terrorism for many Americans. Indiana University professor Hussein Banai joins us now to talk about terrorism and present-day threats. Professor, thank you so much for being on the show. Let's just start off with, how do you think 9/11 has shaped our views of the risk of violent extremism?
Thank you for having me on. I think there's no question that 9/11 transformed domestic and foreign policy a way that we're still living through, quite frankly. The 9/11 generation now that has come of age, who has enlisted in foreign wars, in the armed forces. But domestically, 9/11 obviously was a sensational attack in that it was so visually fantastic in a way that we had never seen before. Since then, there have been series of terrorist attacks, both on U.S. soil and in other Western capitals, but nothing has been quite sensational as that attack. And so we have come to live with terrorism and the threat of terrorism in a much more mundane way since 9/11.
I think it's maybe fair to say that terrorism wasn't something Americans feared or considered prior to 9/11, and now Islamist extremists have come to symbolize terrorism for many Americans. Is that an accurate portrayal of the biggest terrorism threats facing Americans?
Not at the moment, I wouldn't say. I think that's one of the most remarkable things that has changed in the post 9/11 landscape. There's no question that in the first decade after 9/11, Islamic terrorism or Islamic groups that carried out terrorist acts were seen as the primary suspects of terrorism in the United States and in many Western capitals. But I think over time, probably we have seen the emergence of a variety of homegrown terrorism networks. And at the moment, obviously, we are dealing with the threat of domestic white nationalist-inspired terrorism on American soil. So I would say, actually, it must be surprising to many analysts that nearly 20 years after the attacks, we have moved on and are now seeing terrorism in a much more granular and nuanced way.
We have time for one more question. How have our policies aimed at countering all forms of violent extremism changed after 9/11?
Well, the initial policies were incoherent in that it was unclear whether the United States wanted to pursue a global war on terror against al-Qaeda, a specific group, or whether it wanted to enlarge its operations to include regions and countries that provided the conditions out of which Islamic terrorism came out of. That incoherence has very much stayed at the heart of American foreign policy, I would say. And to this day, it is unclear exactly how the United States views terrorism as a national security threat. It changes from year to year, and administration to administration, and oftentimes it's tied up with domestic politics, of course.
All right, thank you very much. We're out of time. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
Coming up next on Indiana Newsdesk. A teenager says one of her classmates raped her and the school is refusing to do anything about it. And as part of our City Limits series, we answer one of your questions. Do you have to wear a mask if you're exercising outdoors? The answer coming up right here on Indiana Newsdesk.
The WTIU WFIU news team connects Indiana to the world. We bring you the top news of the day on radio, TV, and online. We round up the stories that have people talking each week and dig deep into the issues that affect your community the most. The WTIU WFIU news team is where you are and telling your story.
There is no parallel for this election in 2020.
Trust is everything. There will be a respectful and fair exchange of ideas.
PBS has held a special place in people's lives. People trust us.
We need to understand what's going on. We need to go behind the story and under the story.
Not just to find out what happened, but why it matters.
2020 will be a political roller coaster, but viewers can count on PBS to be there every step of the way.
Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. An Indianapolis teenager who says she was raped by a fellow classmate is stepping out of the shadows. Kayla Dillinger was 17 at the time of the incident and wants the world to know her story. Adam Pinsker tells us why Dillinger feels law enforcement and the school dropped the ball on the case.
Put them in the toaster and then put...
On the surface, Kayla Dillinger seems like a happy teenager on the verge of becoming a young adult.
College is a really big deal for me. My senior year is a really big deal for me, and I feel like it's all getting taken away.
Just months ago, Kayla helped lead Lutheran High School's softball team to a state championship, making the play for the final out. She was active in student government and was a manager on the football team. But all of that changed on June 6th when Kayla says she was raped by one of her classmates.
I felt so helpless.
Within days, she reported the incident to the Indianapolis Metro Police Department.
I actually had to go and give a statement to a detective, and we were supposed to hear back. They had told us that he had 2 weeks to give a statement. However, it had taken him almost a month and a half.
Kayla's dad says the case was handed to another IMPD detective, and as the summer wore on, there was very little communication from the police department.
When we did get a response back, it was pretty, there's no empathy.
Bobby Dillinger says the administration at Lutheran has given his daughter very little empathy as well, taking no action against the student. Kayla wanted to transfer to another high school for her senior year so she would not have to see her attacker. Lutheran has fewer than 300 students. However, Bobby says the school is holding Kayla's transcripts until he pays $5,000 in unpaid tuition. Negotiations on a payment plan broke down over the summer.
With the culture that I seen and the information that was brought to my attention, all communication just came to a stop.
Last month, the family's attorney filed a Title IX lawsuit against Lutheran in Indiana's Southern District Court. Title IX, which was proposed by the late Indiana Senator Birch Bayh in the 1970s, makes it illegal for educational institutions to discriminate based on someone's race, color, and sex.
Lutheran High School, even as a private school, is accountable under Title IX. And that's because the Indiana Choice Scholarships are made up and given from Indiana's General Education Fund. And that General Education Fund is funded by state, local, and federal tax dollars.
The family's attorney says the school is violating its own code of conduct against sexual activities between students on and off campus by not taking Kayla's allegations seriously, but attorneys for Lutheran see it differently. Headmaster Michael Branch released this statement. Our top priority as school administrators is to provide a safe, secure learning environment for every student. It is a constant concern, and we take the responsibility of maintaining that security very seriously. Lutheran High School's mission continues to be to prepare students for Christian life while providing for academic excellence in a Christ-centered atmosphere. As the litigation drags on, Kayla remains in limbo, unable to go elsewhere to finish her senior year and apply for colleges because of the hold on her transcripts. but she refuses to let the situation drag her down. Last week, dozens of her classmates, friends, and even some faculty from Lutheran joined her for a protest in front of the school, demanding to do more to protect students like herself.
I may not make a difference in the world, but I am making a difference for other girls and females who do have to go through this.
And even though she can't finish out her senior year with her friends, she says they are still with her.
They stood by me 110% from the get-go.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Adam Pinsker.
The Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department did not return our request for comment on this. Funeral services are tomorrow for the members of a Bloomington family who died over the weekend in a murder-suicide. The coroner says Anna Marie Greta Mumper and Emma and Jacob Mumper all died as a result of gunshot wounds to the head. Their deaths have been ruled homicides. The coroner's report also lists Jeffrey Mumper's cause of death as a gunshot wound to the head, but ruled his death as suicide. Police say investigators still haven't determined a motive for the killings. There was a boat parade at Lake Monroe over the weekend to show support for President Donald Trump's re-election bid. The rallies were held all across the country. Just outside of Austin, Texas, about half a dozen boats sank in the big waves caused by all the boat traffic. Now, that was avoided at Lake Monroe, but hundreds of boats still participated in the rally.
Boats started lining up near the dam at Lake Monroe early Saturday morning. They came in all sizes, but nearly all of them had Make America Great Again flags or Trump 2020 flags flying. There were some Confederate flags as well. Just before the start of the parade, some of the boats started playing Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA, and then they were off. Steve Van Hoosier from Columbus was on the water with his family.
It's a good environment, everybody gathered together for one cause.
A few people watched the boats from the shore or from their boats parked on the lake. Van Hoosier says he was proud to see the turnout in support of the president.
Trump, he's a solid candidate. I mean, he's done everything that he said he's going to do for the most part. And we think that he's going to probably do pretty much what he says he's going to do. So far, so good. So we're pro-Trump.
Some boat rallies in other parts of the country drew protesters, but none were spotted at Lake Monroe. Indiana University's athletic director says progress is being made toward getting Big Ten athletes back in competition. Scott Dolson says the committee of the chancellors and presidents of the conference made the decision to call off fall sports because of uncertainties about COVID-19 testing, contact tracing, and the residual effects of heart issues caused by the disease. He says significant progress in the reliability and access of rapid response testing and progress on cardiac issues from appropriate testing and diagnostics are moving the conference closer to an athletics restart.
I'm optimistic that we can get playing again. It's not if, it's just when.
But he won't speculate about the when. He said there's no discussion or decision on restarting, and he would not offer a date that he's sure of. He said presidents will continue to take guidance from Big Ten medical experts. As coronavirus cases in Monroe County continue to rise, so does the need for people to wear masks in public to help prevent the spread of the virus. In answer to questions in our City Limits project, Ethan Burks this week reports on how the masking wearing policy is different for people who are exercising outside.
The Beeline Trail is one of Bloomington's ideal places to put on a pair of your favorite running or walking shoes to get some fresh air on a summer day. The trail stretches just more than 3 miles north and south, connecting to the Bloomington Rail Trail. When Indiana University students came back to town for the fall semester, the city cracked down on many of its COVID-19 safety guidelines, but public officials left a small window open for people participating in physical fitness outside.
So one of the exceptions is for people who are exercising outdoors.
Monroe County officials issued a public health order that went into effect July 31st that put limits on public gatherings and required people to wear masks when they could not stay safely apart. Mayor John Hamilton jumped ahead and made those rules binding in the city a week sooner.
This is, I believe, the right thing to do, prudent to protect our community and to try to protect all of us, both from the health perspective as well as helping our community navigate.
That health order, which is still in effect right now with some variations to public gathering sizes, does not require people to wear masks while exercising outside, and that includes on the Beeline Trail.
The county has suggested that if you're exercising outdoors, whether you're running, walking, biking, you don't need to wear a mask if you are able to maintain a distance of 6 feet.
Cassandra says the rules could be interpreted in different ways, but as long as groups stay within the city's current 15-person limit for public gatherings and they use good social distancing practices, they are free to use the Beeline and other outdoor spaces for exercise without wearing a mask. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Ethan Burks.
Well, that's the end of this program, but our work continues online as we cover the news throughout the week. Remember, we want to hear from you. You can share your questions and ideas with us, as well as read our latest stories from across the state at WTIUnews.org. Have a great weekend.
Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Smithville Fiber Internet, streaming TV, home security and automation in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Maller Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. LawMG.com. IU Alumni Association, connecting IU's network of alumni and sharing the Indiana spirit through scholarships, advocacy, and volunteerism. Alumni.iu.edu. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnership with communities and organizations. Rural.indiana.edu. And by WTIU members. Thank you.